Hello everyone and welcome to another Mafia Godfathers video. In this video we're going to take a look at all the new content that came out with the recent Cunning Stunts update on GTA Online. So the Cunning Stunts update came out originally on June 12th, 2016, and right now it is June 19th, so we're about a week later, so there is new content, and Rockstar said that they were going to be bringing out some new content every week to build on the Cunning Stunts update. So you see one of the new vehicles with the Cunning Stunts update right here, the Vapid Trophy Truck. And we're going to get to this soon, but there you see it. I don't know if you can hear the engine, but it sounds like a freaking drag car. So let's jump right into this. We're going to go first into the internet here and go to travel and transport. We'll start at Legendary Motorsport. So this vehicle here, the Ocelot Lynx, just came out today, so we'll get to that later. But all of the original content from the Cunning Stunts update, we'll start with the Emperor ETR1. And this is kind of one of those new Lexuses. So if you know the Lexus, I think it's the LRA or something like that. I can't remember exactly what the letters are, but it looks like a new Lexus. And you see the stats here. You have top speed, acceleration, everything, and I can tell you all three of these new vehicles have incredible steering. And they're all very good at handling, and they all fly as well. We'll get to my favorite soon, but if you want to, any of these vehicles I show you, if you want to read the description, just pause the video for a moment, and you can read the description yourself, but I'm going to go a little bit quicker through here. So you see, a lot of the new vehicles are worth a lot of money. So we have the this ETR1 at $1,995,000, and actually, hang on, nope, never mind, I thought that was a sale, but we have the ETR1 at $1,995,000. Then we're going to move on to the Progan Tyrus, and this is the most expensive of the new content at $2.5 million, $2,550,000. I've driven this. It's kind of like a Selena 7 almost, and just with some racing modifications. So you can change the liveries around too. There's two for each new vehicle. So we have the Debonair and the Fukaru. And then we have our stats down here where we have the top speed and everything. Again, like I said, all these new vehicles are insanely fast and handle insanely well. So let's move on now to my favorite, which looks like the old 1991 787B from the Le Mans. This vehicle is very fast and it's very good at turning, just like the other ones, but this one by far is my favorite of the three new ones, and it also costs a pretty penny at $2,475,000, but if you have the money, it is totally worth getting because of its insane traction abilities. And on here, they call it the RE7B, so you can purchase this car for almost $2.5 million. Two different liveries here as well. And then there you see the stats. That's it for Legendary Motorsport here, except for the new one. Now, this came out on June 19th today, so this just came out today. The Ocelot Lynx, which is kind of a cross between an Aston Martin and a Jaguar. The front of it looks more like an Aston Martin, and the rear looks more like one of the newer Jaguars. So, we have the top speed here, almost as fast as some of the other supercars. I'm not sure if they're going to categorize this as a supercar or a sports car, so if anyone watches this and you've either purchased or driven this car, please leave it in the comments and let me know which one it is, and it'll also help out some of the other viewers as well, letting them know if it's a sports or supercar, because I have not had the chance to race with this yet. So, but again, we have $1,735,000 for this vehicle. And that's it for Legendary Motorsports. So now we're going to move on to Southern San Andreas Super Autos, where lots of different cars came out. So the three newest ones are right here. Or no, not the newest, but the three that are probably worth getting the most. So we have the Obey Omni, or Omnis. I'm not sure how they want you to pronounce that. But this is kind of a rally car. Both of these cars that I'm going to show you now are more rally cars. It's $701,000, as you see up here. and it has either the Classic Rally or the Retro Rally livery. And there you see all the specs down here. The top speed and the acceleration and the traction are a little bit better on this than they are on the next vehicle I'm going to show you. But again, this is kind of like an Audi, an older Audi sports car. So we have that. And next we have one that looks like a Lancia, and it's called the Lampadati Tropos Rally, or Rally. So we have this vehicle here, $816,000, so a little bit more expensive than the Audi. And we have either the Air Hurler or the Stronzo paint jobs. So there you have it. And you see some of the specs are a little different here. Top speed remains almost the same, but acceleration and traction are a little lower than the Obey Omnis. So now we move on to the Grotti Brioso RA, and this is basically a Fiat 500. This is categorized as a compact vehicle, and they do have a compact stunt race on here. We'll get to the stunt races in a little bit. But $155,000 for this vehicle. There you see the specs down below, and for a compact car, this is very quick. And the only bad things about this car are that it is very top heavy, so it rolls over easily, and also, in my experience of driving it, it likes to spin out, so it's a little squirrely in the rear end. So that's just a little heads up for you guys. So we have either the atomic tires or the sprunk. And the other thing I want to tell you guys, any vehicle with a livery on here that came out with this update, in Los Santos Customs, the livery can be taken off. So you can take the livery off and have no livery whatsoever and just the paint job. So that's up to you whether you want it or not. Of course, it does cost money to take it off, but it costs more money to put it on. So you definitely want to, if you want a livery, I would definitely select it here instead of in Los Santos Customs. So now we'll move on to probably my favorite vehicle of this new update, the Vapid Trophy Truck, which you saw at the very beginning of this video. This is insanely good. The only bad thing about this vehicle is that the braking is awful. But a lot of people are comparing this with the Brawler, and the Brawler, it has its pros and cons, but this far outweighs the Brawler. So if you have a Brawler, I would definitely tell you to sell it and get this, because it is 10 times better. It's got about the same amount of speed as the Brawler. It accelerates a little bit faster, and it turns much better. So if you want a good off-road vehicle, I would highly suggest the Vapid Trophy Truck here. You'll be winning races. I raced yesterday with this truck on an off-road race. I think it was it on Field Trip, or it might have been a different one. But we did 5 or 6 laps of that race, and I was second in the world for the fastest time for however many laps it was using this truck. So I highly recommend this truck to everybody who likes off-road racing. So again, we got 2 liveries, $550,000 for this. The next one we have is the Vapid Desert Raid, and this vehicle it has the same specs and the same stats for the most part as the trophy truck, but for some reason I feel like this vehicle is more rigid than the trophy truck. The shocks and the suspension don't seem to work as well, but and it's also over $100,000 more, so I would suggest the trophy truck over the Desert Raid. So we have $695,000 here. You can either have the drone or Badger livery. And again, you can take it off in Los Santos Customs if you don't want any at all. Now we move on to the Nagasaki BF400. So this is an off-road vehicle as well. So if you guys remember the Sanchez, this is kind of like a new dirt bike. And you see the specs down here, pretty quick. And has good handling. Braking is okay, but not great. We have either the Atomic or the Sprunk liveries here. So choose one of those. $95,000 for this vehicle. Now we'll move on to the Western Gargoyle. You'll see that I'm skipping over a few, and I'll explain later. So we have either the Gargoyle or the Gargoyle Vintage liveries, and there you see the chain on the tires in the rear, which I think is pretty cool. The top speed on this is actually pretty good for this type of bike. I am not 100% sure what category this bike is in, so again, if somebody wants to comment and let me know, please do. I haven't had the chance to race with this vehicle yet either. So $120,000 for the Western Gargoyle. And now we'll move on to the three vehicles, and for some reason, some people are getting these three for free, and some of them are you have to pay for them. But I think these are only out for a limited time. Don't hold me to that, but I've seen a couple things where it says get them while they're here. So we have the Dig Class Burger Shot Stallion, the Vapid Pisswasser Dominator, and the Bravado Redwood Gauntlet. And all of these, for some reason, for me and a few of my other friends and a few other members of the Mafia Godfathers crew, these are free for us. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if it has to do with leveling or discounts or what it is. So if anybody knows for sure, you can also leave that in the comments as well. So all of these vehicles are a little bit faster than their original style. So the Dominator, the custom Dominator here is a little faster than it would be if you would just purchase it. The acceleration is also better. I have noticed that these vehicles are very good whenever you customize them, so if you're looking for a good muscle car, look no further than these three here, depending on which one you like the best. I will say the one that races the best is definitely the Dominator out of these three. The Gauntlet is okay, but it's not great. It accelerates a little bit quicker, but I think the best racer out of these three would be the Dominator. The Stallion isn't bad, so those are just my little tidbits on them. Two new vehicles came out today, and you'll notice I skipped over these. So we have the Western Cliffhanger here. This looks like an off-road motorcycle as well. Looks kind of like an Evel Knievel motorcycle, so you see the specs down here. $225,000 for this motorcycle. And again, if you want to read the descriptions, you can just pause the video for a moment. Next, we have the Dig Class Drift Tampa. So if you guys remember the muscle car, the Tampa, well, now there's a drift version of it. And I know a lot of people enjoy drifting. The only thing is this vehicle is very expensive at just under $1 million, $995,000 to purchase. Have either the Ragarum or the Hot Ring Racer. Again, this just came out today on June 19th. So I would guess that this is under the muscle category, but it may or may not be. So if anybody knows for sure, please leave that in the comments as well. Excuse me. Okay, so that is it for the vehicles, I believe. So now we will move on to... Oh, here's the trophy truck, in case you wanted to see it again. There's the trophy truck all customized. And now we're going to move on into Ponsonby's here. Lots of new clothing as well, from what I've heard. I haven't actually been in here to check it out yet. So just give me one moment to see where it's at. Got some fitted suit pants. Let's see what else we got in here. I haven't been in here in a long time, so some of this may be from the prior update. Oh, new suit jacket, sweet. So yeah, the racing jackets is the newest thing. So a lot of racing gear is in all of the clothing stores. So if you want some racing jackets and pants and everything else, or if you just want to get an outfit for racing, you can definitely do that now. Lots of new racing stuff all throughout GTA. And lastly, we want to look at one more thing in this video before we say goodbye, and that is the new races. So Rockstar added, I think, 6 new races today, and I think they originally added 12 at the very beginning, but it was either 12 or 16. Oops, nope, not there. Okay, play job, we'll go to Rockstar Created. Here are all the stunt races. So Afterburner is definitely one of the new ones. I haven't seen that yet. So Afterburner, Canyon Crossing, City Air, Double Loop is new. Downtown Loop, Duel, East Coast, Force is also new. High Flyer is new. Maze Bank Ascent, Nightlife, Over and Under, Plummet, Racing Alley, Rally, Splits, Threading the Needle, Trench 1, Trench 2, that is also new. Turban, Vinewood Downhill, and Zebra, which is also new. So we have a bunch of new stunt races to do here. So definitely give them all a try. I've played all of the ones that came out last week. I've yet to play the brand new ones. So definitely give them all a try. They're very fun to do with a lot of people. So if you have your own crew or a group of friends, definitely do them. They're a lot of fun, and definitely something new in GTA that everybody can enjoy. Reminds me of Mario Kart or tabletop racing, if you guys know what that is. That was one of the free PlayStation games